What's up, my wolf pack? Welcome back to the den. I'm your host, Victor, and today I'm going to be talking about Season 5, Episode 1 of the new Samurai Jack. Now, this is a great moment for a lot of fans out there. It's been well over a decade since Samurai Jack has had a new episode. It premiered tonight, earlier tonight, March 11th, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. New episode, Season 5, Episode 1. Holy shit, this was great. So there wasn't too much in this episode, though. It's a very typical Samurai Jack episode. It felt like a Samurai Jack episode from before. It doesn't feel like another show with Samurai Jack slapped on top of it. It felt like a proper show, a proper episode to the show. It had the tone, it had the lack of storytelling, but it had the aesthetic about it that made Samurai Jack so appealing before. There was and was not a lot going on at the same time. There's literally two things going on in this episode, though, as the premiere of this season. One thing that it's focusing on are these 7 sisters who are born and being trained in the name of Aku in order to hunt down and kill Jack. So that's just another potential threat for him to deal with. And then the other aspect that this episode focuses on is Jack himself. And it was great to see him, and his new look was very interesting to see initially. And then it was explained why he looked the way he does. This takes place 50 years after Season 4's ending. And it does a quick thing of exposition saying how it's been 50 years, and somehow age or time doesn't seem to affect his age. I can only take that as even though he is technically older, his body is the same because he's not aging. It looks very grizzled. He has this giant beard, a long freaking mane of hair. He's definitely the lone wanderer. Type of thing. He's just going around. Before he was on foot walking. Right now he's riding a fucking motorcycle. For God's sake, it's freaking cool. And he's got this suit of armor, like full on metal armor. It's different, but I like it, especially with how long it's been. It's refreshing to see that there's finally a new episode, but at the same time, it's not just the fact that they're making a new episode. It's like they are trying to continue the overall story that is Samurai Jack. They could have just easily, made something where he kicks some ass or whatever, but no, they're continuing the adventure, and that's something I very much appreciated. Honestly, I'm very much looking forward to the next episode, though. I got pretty hyped when I saw the next time on. It's looking pretty kick-ass. The actual intro is probably the coolest way they could have gone about bringing back Samurai Jack. It starts out for a handful of seconds, very quiet, just showing the silhouette of this town in the distance. Next thing you know, there's this mother and daughter of this universe running from something, and then right behind them, this giant horde of those big beetle robots. I never knew what they were technically called. I always referred to them as beetle robots because they look like beetles and they're robots. But there's a big horde of them chasing this mother and daughter. They surround them, and then Jack comes out of nowhere and kicks all kinds of ass. And for us who are fans of the show, that's probably the coolest way to bring it back and just to have that like nostalgia, hype feel to it. Because it was very cool. And he kicks ass, and when they're all destroyed, he just gets back on his motorcycle, rides off in the distance. And then he, later on in the episode, fights this weird robot who uses music as a weapon. It was strange, but considering it's Samurai Jack, it worked. The robot looked very much like a samurai combined with a pirate to me. I don't know. That was me. Anybody else who saw this episode might have thought differently, but that was me. I thought a mixture of both. But this whole fighting sequence was in typical Samurai Jack fashion of the previous seasons from over a decade ago. It was a new character for him to fight, but it was in the usual fashion that this show goes about it, and it was so cool, and I was hype the entire time watching this episode. Again, though, there wasn't much storytelling. This does the storytelling of the overall seasons. It's not There's not much of the individual episodes. I remember before in the previous seasons, every once in a while there'd be an individual episode where it would dig a little deeper than others with the lore, with the overall exposition, blah blah blah, whatever the hell you want to say. But typically there isn't much in the realm of storytelling. It's what's happening now in the episode, whatever that individual conflict is, whatever Jack is dealing with personally. We don't know yet as far as the overall story that is season 5. What's going to be happening with the whole Jack and Aku thing and him potentially going back to the past, because it seems like it's impossible right now. We'll see what the creators of the show decide to do. But it's going to be interesting, and I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen. I was excited tonight watching this episode. I give it a thumbs up. Videos like this, I'm not going to do a grade. I'm just going to be talking about the episodes. If I was talking about a show as a whole, I would do a grade. But as far as an individual episode, I'll just be talking about it. For right now, this is all it's going to be. But I'm very pleased with this episode. Keep it up. Bring us more. I cannot wait. I'm a long-time fan of this show. I've waited so long for this soft reboot, continuation, whatever you want to call it, to finally happen, and it's here. And just please get hype with me. Let me know if you saw this episode and what your thoughts are on it. Let me know how much of a fan or not fan you are of Samurai Jack. You please be a fan, though. This is a great show. I love this show. Thumbs up, though, if you enjoy Samurai Jack, though. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Share this around. Let your friends know about it. Let your friends know about Samurai Jack. I very much want, not just me, but other people of, ironically, the anime community, want people to know about this show. Because this is great. It is hype. It is so awesome to see it finally back, and I'm going to be watching it every week as the new episodes come out. Let everybody know. Share this video. Again, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Subscribe to the channel. Join my wolf pack. There's plenty of room in my den. If you guys want to come in, you're more than welcome. Till the next thing I put up, you guys take it easy.